Hey guys, it's Gunrunner7271. Today, in addition to our stored water, I talked about wanting to have at least 400 to 500 gallons of stored water in 55-gallon drums and the clear blue drums. It's important that we be able to replenish that through finding a surface source of water, because we don't have a well available to us, so we have to use a surface source. 100 and something yards down the street here is a pond with world-class bass in it, but that is our bug out water supply or our emergency water supply. Now what we need to do is make that potable. So we're going to make our own Berky water filters. I know a lot of guys have tried this and it's all over the internet on how to do it. I have Dalton filters on order. They're the black Dalton filters that have the carbon, the activated carbon on the outside. They're impregnated with silver, and they're ceramic based. They do filter down to sub 5 micron, 0.5 micron, so that's enough to get rid of just about anything. One of the things you'll need is 4 buckets. We're going to make 2 filters today of primary and secondary, and you can even go as far as to add a 5th and 6th bucket in this for a pre-filter. The cleaner you have the water going into your ceramic filter, the less maintenance you will have later, and your filters will last longer. The things you'll need are Home Depot food grade buckets, the ubiquitous Home Depot buckets. You'll need 2 spigots for 2, you'll need spigots. These are available on the internet, and they're probably even available at Home Depot. You'll need 3 spade bits, a 3/8 inch bit, an 1 1/4 bit, and a 3/4 inch bit. Let's see. Also, something that's not necessary but probably a good option is a deburring tool so that you can clean up your edges on your plastic once you're done. Well, I guess let's just get right into it. I have pre-marked my buckets for clearance on my spigots. Okay, now these the bottom bucket's obviously going to sit on a stand of some sort, whether it be a table or whatever, but this is going to be your finished product, your potable water. One important note, I don't care how you do it, you need to put on here potable water. On your other bucket you want to put on supply or filtering, and if you choose to go with a pre-filter bucket, you should put on either pre-filter or raw water. That keeps you from cross-contaminating and hurting yourself in the end. Okay, so I got this already pre-marked where I have clearance. You don't want to put it right at the bottom because you won't have any clearance down there, and it's hard to get the little nut on. So I'm just going to go ahead and drill this. It should drill pretty easy, as it is pretty soft plastic. Okay, there's one. Now, I mentioned the deburring tool earlier. This is what the deburring tool does. It goes around the rim and takes off any rough plastic. That's important because, and you need to do it from the inside and the outside, because what happens is that affects your rubber seals later. Alright, let me run it around from the inside, and we'll rerun it from the outside. Okay, now installation's pretty straightforward. There's a cone shaped seal. There's 2 of them. You want the 2 cone shape, the angular sides to the surfaces. Okay, so and you just want to get this fairly tight. And one other note, take your garden hose or your utility sink and fill this up just over top of the spigot, just to I just got this thumb tight. That's about all it has to be, is thumb tight. It's plastic, and it's a kind of a brittle plastic, so you don't want to over tighten it. Okay, so that's how this is your, and rinse this out, and during the rinse out process, that'll determine whether you're actually leaking or not. You want to test it before you actually fill. Okay, so now I don't have the Dolton filters yet, they're on order, but I do have the dimensions for the Dolton filters. So you're going to want to take one of your lids. Actually, you're going to want to take your top bucket. I think this one is on pre-marked. You're going to want to take your top bucket, or your filtering bucket, and you want to drill a hole directly in the bottom, right in the center. And there's a little knob right in the center, so don't worry if you don't get it exact on the center. That's a 3/8 inch hole. Okay? Again, use your deburring tool to do both sides, because your rubber seals are going to mate on that. Okay? And I caught a little bit of the knob. Okay, so do the inside now. Now our Dolton filter has a 3/8 inch exit on it, and what you'll do is it'll have a nut on this side, a threaded barb that sticks through here, and it has a gasket on it. So this is your recovery bucket, this is your filtering bucket. Next, we're going to need a 1¼ inch spade bit. We're just going to drill a hole in the top of a lid. Bingo, we're done. It's that simple. Now what I'm going to do is, again, deburr. Now you may be wondering why I have a hole in here that's that big. Well, basically, this is your potable water bucket. That's going to be your lid for that. And then your Dolton filter, the exit end of the Dolton filter will be coming out of here and fit right on top of that, and they will nest. Okay? Now, Never Enough Ammo has a idea to put a filter into these buckets that's, I don't know if it's potable, but it would act as a great pre-filter. So, you know, I think I have, I think I have 10, 11 bucks in buckets and 4 buckets. I think I have 13 bucks in spigots, and that was with being overpriced on the shipping. I think if you went to Home Depot and showed them what you needed, they could probably get something for about 4 bucks a pop. So we got less than 20 bucks in 2 spigots, 4 buckets. The rest of the cost, and the Dolton filters are $35 a piece. So don't order them off the Berky website, because they're 2 for $49.99. I think there's plenty other places. Additionally, there's another company out there called Monolithic. Same dimensions and everything, but theirs is a short mushroom looking filter. Same material, just a shorter, more has more surface area, not long and tall. So, having said that, guys, remember, you have to have a way to make water potable. It doesn't do any good to store water. Sooner or later, you're going to run out. Potable water, Many civilizations have risen and fallen due to the lack of clean water, and you know, you can only survive about 3 days without water. So don't just store water, make good water. If anything, you can barter that to your neighbors and or your community. Very important. Thanks guys. Have a good day. Gunrunner 7271 signing out.